60 minutes of football in the books. We're a quarter of a way through the Patriots preseason. I'm Alex Barth. He's Mike Petraglia. And, well, these are just exhibition reps. It's time to let the takes fly as we've seen some real 11-on-11 out there on the field. And we'll start with what concerned you the most tonight, Trags.
Well, I would say, without question, it's the way the Patriots, after kind of taking it, I wouldn't say easy, but certainly not as intense in the first week and a half, 2 weeks of training camp, not tackling. And it's the first thing that you see when you watch an actual game, whether it's preseason or regular season. How do these players tackle? How do they engage? How do they really embrace the new rules, the helmet-to-helmet kind of type of contact rules? Are the Patriots ready to tackle? Tonight, they were not. We saw Kyle Van Noy whiff on a touchdown run down the right sideline. It was actually a short pass from Colt McCoy. And then the Patriots secondary missed a couple of big tackles, including Jordan Richards. And we all know what happened to Jordan Richards in Super Bowl 52. It was a bad flashback for a lot of Patriots fans. But that led to a 53-yard reception 2 plays later, the second Washington touchdown of the night. Those are things that when Belichick watches on the film, he will obviously make corrections and say, we cannot let the opposition run free and run loose and blow tackles like this or during the regular season. It's just not allowed.
So since you went with the defensive side of the ball, I'll go offensive. I was a little concerned with the top of the wide receiver depth chart. Now, I know a lot of people say this is blowing it out of proportion, but even in limited reps, Julian Edelman doesn't get a target. Chris Hogan has 2 balls thrown his way, drops both. And I'll say this about Hogan. He's been a good receiver in New England, but that's as the number 3 or 4 option going up against number 3 or 4 corners. Tonight, he draws the number 1 matchup, and he struggles. So between that, Edelman saying he's out of shape and then not being targeted, I'm not ready to jump overboard yet on it, but as the wide receiver position continues to progress, it feels like things have gotten more and more uncertain throughout camp, and tonight to me is just another step in that. But I want to end on a positive note, Trags, something you saw tonight that you liked.
Running game, without question. I mean, you could tell Brian Hoyer was a much more comfortable quarterback in that second half when Mike Gillislee and Jeremy Hill got going. And specifically Jeremy Hill, you know, Bill Belichick after the game was asked how significant it was for Jeremy Hill to report to Patriots camp a little thinner like they asked him to do. And he said, look, the Jeremy Hill we saw tonight, we know he's an explosive type of runner. We know he can cut for a big man, and we saw that in this game against the Redskins. We saw Jeremy Hill able to cut back across the grain. The other thing we saw on the Patriots' first touchdown of the night, Jeremy Hill's first touchdown of the preseason, was second effort and strength. And that is the type of thing that he really made a great reputation for with the Bengals in his first 3 seasons there before he was really pushed to the side in Cincinnati. Jeremy Hill and Mike Gillislee, the way they competed, and obviously Ralph Webb's a great story, right. Rookie out of Vanderbilt. I don't know if he has a great chance of making the roster, but the running game certainly was what stood out to me as the biggest positive.
I'm going to go with the run defense, and I know you said the tackling was tough at times, and it was. But in the second half, specifically Juwan Bentley, I thought he showed a lot. He showed next-level ability. Bill Belichick spoke after the game about his intelligence. That was apparent. He gets the green dot. He's the play caller on defense. Yep. And he made some nice plays pursuing the ball carrier, too. So I will agree tackling was an issue tonight, but I would call Juwan Bentley an exception from that.